Chris, what is our second main topic today?
It comes from such a good name, Evan Alrighty. Greetings. I was just reading that after Discovery takes over Warner Brothers and all their stuff, the new boss is saying they're not going to spend a lot of money making content. But in today's streaming wars, isn't that kind of admitting defeat? Netflix, Disney, Peacock, Paramount have all announced they're spending a ton of money on content. Will WB fall behind if it doesn't do the same?
All right, thanks a lot for saying that in, Evan. And yes, I think there is a huge pivotal event in the history of the streaming wars is coming up here. And that is, for those of you who may not know, Discovery is getting ready to take over Warner Media. It includes Warner Brothers, HBO Max, all that kind of stuff. Discovery is taking them over under the leadership of Discovery CEO David Zaslav, who has brilliantly guided the formation, establishment, launch, and growth of the Discovery Plus thing. That thing has turned into a massive hit for people on a pretty modest budget compared to all the other streaming services. They've done such a good job, and he as a leader has done such a great job empowering the heads of all of his different studios, the heads of his Food Network, the heads of his HG network, the heads of his like 5 or 6 other networks. He empowers them, he enables them, he lets them do their stuff, they create great stuff, and it's been hugely profitable to the point that they can buy Warner Brothers. And it's done. They're getting ready to take it over. It's just getting ready to clear the final hurdles, and it's all going to be done. Now, in the streaming wars, we've heard a lot lately about Disney's announced they're going to be spending $13 billion more on original content. Peacock just said they're going to spend over the next 2 years $11 billion on new content. And it's become an arms race. And who can outspend who? Well, in an investor's call, CEO of Discovery, who's about to be the boss of Warner Brothers, basically just laid out, we are not going to get into an arms race, proving he's actually the smartest guy on the block already. This is what he had to say. This comes to us from Variety. Discovery CEO promises that the company is not in a race to win the quote-unquote spending wars on content when it closes its deal to acquire AT&T's Warner Media and become Warner Brothers Discovery. We're going to spend more on content, but you're not going to see us come in and say, all right, we're going to spend $5 billion more on content, Zaslav said during an investor call Thursday to discuss the company's fourth quarter earnings results. Discovery CFO Gunnar Weidenfels echoed Zaslav's point, saying, it's not about winning. I love this. Listen to this. It's not about winning, and spending more money doesn't score goals. It's not about winning, and spending more money doesn't score goals. And we're going to spend money on content, but we're not just going to say, hey, what's that guy spending? We're going to spend $5 billion more than that. It's not what it's about. If you want any more proof that just throwing money at things doesn't bring you titles, look at the New York Yankees. or whoever.
I got that sports reference.
I sports ball. I get it. Or heavens, look at the Dallas Cowboys.
Ooh.
Or don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw a great meme the other day. It was, I think it said, number of rings since 1989 or something like that. Dallas Cowboys 2, Jennifer Lopez 5. And had with their various fiancés on their knee putting the ring on for a little bit of a zinger there. But seriously, just throwing money doesn't win. And I'll tell you why. To me, when I read that, it just re-emphasized to me that Zaslav and his regime are going to be the smartest group of guys on the block in this streaming war stuff now that Big Papa Iger's gone. Is that, number one, we are not here to win the streaming wars. We're here to be successful. That's what we're here to be. If somebody else wants to be even more successful, that has nothing to do with us. We are not here to outspend people. We are not going to engage in the spending wars. We are going to create good content, and we're going to be successful, and we're going to be profitable. And it's not about who can win the race to spend more money, because spending more money does not guarantee you results at all. I remember when I was running AMC and later Collider and stuff like that, there were companies spending a hell of a lot more money on their online content than us, and we dwarfed them. At the same time, there were YouTube channels in the entertainment business that spend a hell of a lot less money than we did at AMC or Collider, and they dwarfed us. Money is a great tool, but like any tool, it has to be used efficiently. And the very fact that Zaslav isn't coming out saying, we are going to win the streaming wars, we're going to be the king of the hill, that's folly. You focus on being successful, getting the W, getting the win, not over somebody else, but for yourself. You focus on that. You become reasonable with your spending. You put the money where it's going to be most effective and not just throw it around frivolously. You're going to be the guy standing when it comes to the end of it. And I'll tell you what, I love this. And notice he didn't come out and say, we're not going to spend any money. No, he just came out and said, we're not going to come out and say, well, we're going to spend $5 billion more than, like, no, they're going to spend money. He knows how to spend money and they're going to do it. But they're going to do it responsibly. They're going to run a tight ship. And I think you're going to see Warner Brothers going to new heights. And we have, not ever, but then we've seen in the last 15, 20 years. Anyway, Rob, these are some pretty, I think these are incredible statements coming from these guys over there.
Agreed.
What do you make of their philosophy right now?
Well, there's a friend of this channel, friend of my channel too, somebody very ensconced in the industry who I admire and respect, who I asked him a similar question about this about 6 months ago. And he said right now that most of the streaming services are spending 100 to 150% of what they're taking in via subscriptions.
Yes.
That is unsustainable. And it is bad business. And I understand why they're doing it. Warner Media Discovery. What do we know? They called it something. Is it now Warner Discovery? What is
Warner Media Discovery or something along? Actually, you know what? Let me bring up the screen again. I'll tell you what it is. It's going to be called Warner Brothers Discovery.
Okay,
I don't like the name. For the record, I don't like the name.
Warner Brothers Discovery is not. Look, these other streaming services are committing business practices that aren't in their best long-term interests. What Warner Brothers Discovery is doing, they're already making successful shows that aren't expensive shows, like those cooking shows. A lot of the Discovery Channel shows are cost effective and they bring in huge numbers. So what Zaslav is doing is he's positioning, first of all, the company to not say, like you said, we're going to go out and win these wars. There's no war to fight. All you have to do is continue what you're doing, which is making great content that gets people to watch and subscribe. And you don't have to spend inordinate amounts of money that put you in the hole. Why would you spend 150% of what you're taking in? What business can survive? He's not going to do that. And they're going to spend their money effectively. They're going to spend their money where it's most useful. And they're going to create great entertainment for their subscription base. And because what you're doing to win the subscription wars, John, or to win the streaming wars, or whatever you want to call it, is to establish a group of people that are your consumers that have loyalty to you because you're providing them with great entertainment. That's it. That's your job. And if you retain those subscribers month to month to month, you will win.
And here's the thing. I think we're going to see Zaslav, like, he'll spend money on big projects.
Sure.
Where, like, when he takes over Warner Brothers and they want to make the next Justice League movie, he's going to open up because he'll believe that's going to be money well invested that he's going to get a return on. What you won't see him then do is turn around and make 20 other little things that they can just throw more money at than they do at Justice League altogether. So I think he's going to spend money, but he's going to spend it responsibly, and we're going to see how that all kind of turns out. Chris, you're hearing these words. You've been involved in the entertainment industry in a lot of different levels. What do you make of what he's saying here?
I think it's smart, and it's nice to hear that it's just not about throwing money at stuff to see what sticks. I keep kind of thinking about, too, all the times that we've had people write in on this show. How do I get viewers? How do I get things? How do I do this? How do I grow my audience? It begins with the content you already have and creating that to be what your people need, what people want to listen to, tune into, all that good stuff. So making sure that you're taking care of that subscriber base, making sure you are taking care of the IP you already have, and making sure it all really, really shines, that's a really nice place to start. And throwing billions of dollars at other IP that you want to collect or trying to do other things, it's not always what's going to get the baby bathed, If
Right.
you had asked me, too, a couple of years ago, if Discovery was going to be the one buying Warner,
Never.
Like, what?
Never.
That's
You would think it'd be the
wild.
other way around.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of just, okay, Warner Brothers is going to do Shark Week now, I guess. Neat. But this is really, really exciting stuff. And it's nice to hear somebody tackle a problem from a different angle. Because when you see people do the same approach always and it's not working, why would you do the same approach too? This is really refreshing to see, frankly.
Well, and you brought up something great. It's like when people ask us about a YouTube channel, what you're selling is you.
Exactly.
What do you bring that's different than any other YouTuber?
What's your special sauce?
Yeah, that's why people tune into YouTube. Why do people tune into something like Discovery, Shark Week, call it what you want? It's consistent quality programming. That's all you're looking for. And Zaslav's going to spend the money when he knows he's going to make something. You brought up Justice League, John. You look at those numbers on Zack Snyder's Justice League. I don't know how much money how much it generated, but if those numbers hold, that's something people watch over and over and over again. People will come back to a streaming service that has their favorite movies. They watch them as comfort food. If Warner Brothers is concentrating on making great films that do well on their streaming service, HBO, like you pointed out, is already the Tiffany standard of streaming series
When it comes to excellence, yeah.
and they make incredible stuff. And so that's where he's coming into a company that's already doing that. You think he's going to make HBO we're going to do 30 new shows on HBO?
No.
They'll make 5 really good shows. You got the Gilded Age. I mean, I never thought I'd be worried or want to be concerned with, a Downton Abbey. Julian was Fellows or whatever.
Barry's coming back.
Yeah, I mean, all these shows, I'm like, every HBO show, have you ever seen, other than like what Arliss was HBO, wasn't it?
I believe it was, yeah.
Not a favorite of mine. But other than that, HBO shows, were there any really bad HBO shows? Like ever?
Honestly, the first show on HBO that I believe, now maybe I'm not remembering some, but that I started watching, I just couldn't keep getting into it, was Euphoria. That was the first one. And that's an excellently made show. It's just that the subject matter for me it just leaves me feeling
It's also
icky.
a zeitgeist show now. It's captured the imaginations
Yes,
of
it has.
young girls everywhere.
Yeah,
That's
it's
another
of
one
those
for me
things.
too, John. It's just too hard for me to watch it.
Yeah, but that's it. But everything else anything else I try on HBO works. I mean, that's just what they've done and done historically. Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about the words from the Discovery CEO, David Zaslav, saying, hey, we're not here to win the spending wars. That's not what we're here to do. I think he's already proven that he's going to be the smartest guy in this business now that Papa Iger isn't there. What do you guys think? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.